Hi guys, it's Megan back to talk about my artist Mise-en-Scene. Now you're probably wondering why I'm wearing a wig. The idea I had was to give you the general impression of what Georgina will look like without Georgina actually being here. I'm going to be putting up some pictures of the actual costumes that we should have decided on by now. It's pretty much decided on that this is what we're going to be wearing for Georgina, who is my main artist, but I wanted to give you kind of a look at it with her not being here. I will try and put screenshots, but I didn't want to just have like a full screenshot of her the entire time. We did a test shoot basically the other day. It was kind of meant to be a real one. I don't think the footage I got I actually like, so we are going to be refilming it. But it was basically really good to see kind of what I wanted, how I wanted everything to run. So then it was very time constrained, so it was quite stressful, so I don't want that to happen again. But she kind of got in full costume. Everyone was kind of in the kind of clothes I wanted them to be in. But it was just helping me really practice with the camera, practice with everyone, practice directing, all of that. But yeah, so it was kind of, I got to see her in costume and I really liked the costumes, but considering she's not here, I wanted to give you a general impression of the kind of stuff I'm going for. I'm also going to be doing like a really quick eye tutorial, not really a tutorial, just a really quick video of me doing my eyes in the look I want Georgina to do. Like, I'm not going to be putting foundation on or anything, because she's going to be doing that herself, because, you know, it's her face, she knows it better than I do. But in regards to eyes and lips, I also want to give you the general impression. Also with this hair, I don't know how to do the hairstyle I actually want to do, so Georgina's also going to be doing that, but I should get some clips of her doing that for me, or at least some photos. And I'm going to be putting some kind of clips that I found on Google of it on here. But yeah, so basically, obviously I'm not blonde, but Georgina is blonde, and she's wearing a dress very similar to this, with these kind of bell sleeves, black. This is her school look. I'm going to be kind of inserting some pictures here. So she's got kind of a black velvet dress, black tights, kind of smartish school shoes. I'm trying to think if the ones that are kind of like hers are here. They're kind of like this, but more of a leather thing. And then if you look at the makeup and the hair, I mean, the hair is very natural here, kind of down and just kind of how she usually is, you know, very simple and everything. And then the makeup is also very simple, you know, very pink lips. I think hers was a brighter pink, and then just mascara, and that's basically it for makeup, because it's a school scene, so I wanted it to be kind of, you know, boring, more boring than the performance scenes. I want the performance scenes to look quite different, and I just did want it natural to make it kind of more realistic, but also kind of more plain, so that when she's performing there's a massive difference. Also because she's wearing a mask, if she's wearing a heap of makeup we wouldn't be able to see it anyway. I'll get the mask so you have a basic idea of how it looks with the mask. I also think it made the mask stand out more, having it all in black. Now, I was told never mix blue and black. That's usually navy blue. Thankfully, this is like a very powdery blue, and I kind of want this to be the colour scheme of my whole like idea, basically, because just blue and gold is gorge. So if I put this, I mean, this is a prop. I'm probably going to be mentioning this in the props video too. We haven't actually tried it with the mask yet, so I don't know how we're going to do it. I think it would go under the hair, so it's not as thing. But as you can see, doing it with anything kind of else, if doing it with heavy makeup, you wouldn't be able to see much of it anyway, but I think that it makes the mask stand out a lot more with it being black. And with my extras, I'm going to have them almost contrasting slightly, because Georgina's going to be all black, and I want that kind of black thing, almost a school uniform, and to almost represent kind of, with the tone that it's in, very kind of somberness, but to make her different from everyone else, I want everyone else to be wearing at least like a colour on them, so they're almost more colourful, to contrast with the fact that Georgina is discovering herself, because it's like these robots, or the silent people as I've been calling them at the moment, she's isolated from them because they don't wear masks. They know what they want, and she's seeing them as robots, not because they are boring or because they are just looking the part to go in with everyone else. They are being robots so that like, it's just more to show that she's isolated than to say, oh look, they're boring because they're just looking the part, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. So I'm going to have them slightly more colourful, but I'm having her all in black, and then for the main performance section I want her to look completely different, to add into the idea that although the performance is meant to kind of separate the narrative, it's also kind of part of the narrative. It's almost like her looking back in a flashback, with the idea that she is now grown, and that is why I want the hair to be in a messy bun, so it's up, so it's different to, obviously you can't really do it with a wig, but I do want it to be almost like really high up and out of her face. But yeah, so I do want it up and out the way at least, if not in a bun, in some kind of plait or something, just to keep it out. Even in a ponytail would be good, you know, nice and out the way. But now I'm going to be doing extreme makeup for everybody.
Time than be unaware, 'cause this is how life's meant to be. You struggle perfectly in order for you to see there's not just one way to be happy, always trying to do the next thing, always trying to look the part. Those days are over, is only just the start. Whoa, 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 oh, whoa, 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 if you're who you wanna be, you don't have to answer to anyone, no, even me. Whoa, trying to do the next thing, always trying to look the part. Those days are over, this is only just the start. Always stuck on the same page, my inspiration's starting to fade, but I will fight the doubt and I will work this out, 'cause this is how life's meant to be. You struggle perfectly in order for you to see there's not just one way to be free, always trying to do the next thing, always trying to look the part. Those days are over, this is only just the start. You can travel and explore to find out who you are for sure, but there's no rush to get there. Better take your time than be unaware, 'cause this is how life's meant to be. You struggle perfectly in order for you to see there's not just one way to be happy, always trying to do the next thing, always trying to look the part. Those days are over, this is only just the start.
this is like a very basic idea of what the eye makeup will look like. It won't look exactly like this because I did this in a rush and it was kind of just a practice. But the lips will probably look very similar with a red lip, you know, very bold eye, because I want it to look completely different to the previous kind of thing, and I think that it does look very different to go from like such an extreme look from a very kind of safe, sensible look. So I'm using a lot of greys and stuff to give that kind of like, I don't want to give it a rocker-esque look necessarily, because she's not a rock artist, she's indie pop. However, I think for performance there's a lot of artists who will do a very rock and roll vibe. Like this at the moment, apart from my hair, I would call this quite a rock and roll vibe. You know, I do think this is quite original rock and roll-esque. Which is the kind of thing I want and don't want. I just want it to look really different, and I think having such a dramatic everything will really add to that. I don't know if it'll be exactly like this, but I definitely do want kind of a much more extreme eye and definitely a red lip. I think it will look really good. So Georgina is kind of almost doing that rocker look because it's so different to what she's actually wearing in the rest of it, and because she's indie pop she can kind of get away with it. I mean, pop artists can get away with it. Look at Lady Gaga. I mean, she basically acts like she's a rock star the whole time, so why not Georgina? But yeah, so she'll be wearing that, and she'll be wearing this very kind of almost lacy textured top, which is really pretty. Some ripped up jeans, kind of grungy look, hopefully some high heeled boots. I think she said she had some, and a leather jacket to really add to that kind of performery-esque thing. I mean, I've worn that to sing Paloma Faith songs and stuff. I've worn things like this to sing whatever type of song, and I think it goes, you know. And I mean, yeah, she's kind of doing an acoustic number, but I don't think that means you can't dress up. If not, I mean, I think it's become more of a norm now than it would, because I don't think indie pop necessarily has that iconography that other genres do, because it's so random. And she was just wearing pyjamas in it. They're really cool. They're black and white again to add to that kind of black and white theme. And they say I think the top says something like, I just want to drink coffee, make stuff and eat food, or something like that. And I thought it went really well with the idea of who Georgina is within the music video and out of what the music video is. And I just think it will work really well, and she'll be wearing no makeup there. I mean, she's just got up. I don't really want to see her face much without the mask on. I want to see like back of her, but I don't really want to see much without the mask on, because I want that first shot of her to almost be her with the mask on, like a shock almost thing, even though I've talked about it loads, so anybody who's not seen the music video or not heard me talk about the music video, I guess will be shocked almost. But yeah, that's the basic idea for my artist Mise-en-Scene. I hope it makes sense. I hope this was okay, and I will see you in whatever I'm doing next. So bye.